So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you go about achieving forgiveness for your PPP loan. This is a question I've been getting a lot from previous videos that I've done talking about the PPP loan program. And a lot of people want to know, how do you achieve 100% forgiveness? When do you actually go to apply for forgiveness? And what forms and documents might you need coming into the forgiveness process? So let's just jump into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's video. Once again, we're going to be talking about PPP loan forgiveness and how you go about achieving it. Now, keep in mind, this video is directed towards those sole proprietors or those single member LLCs or independent contractors, the gig workers, the gig economy, right? If you drive Uber, if you're a YouTuber, if you're a blogger, graphic designer, you are the people that I'm talking about. And we're going to discuss how you go about getting that PPP loan forgiveness. So when it comes to the PPP program, okay, there were two rounds. There was round one and then there was round two. Now, the differences between round one and round two is that round one, you went off of your net income, and that determined how much you got in your loan. Now, your net income was line 31 off of your Schedule C. When it came to the second round of PPP, okay, you were able to get your loan determined off of your gross amount, which is line 7 on your Schedule C. Now, the reason I mentioned the Schedule C is because it's important, because that's how you determine how much you are eligible for and the loan amount, okay? And it also goes into determining how much you get forgiven. So there's been a lot of changes to this program from when it first started to where it is now. But essentially, if you are a sole proprietor, Schedule C, okay, you're, single member LLC, basically you're filling out form 3508S. Now, you can find this form online by visiting the IRS website, or you can reach out to whoever your lender is who extended you the loan. And I'm sure that they probably have a copy that they can send to you to fill out. Now, also keep in mind that this loan is only eligible for those who had a loan amount of $150,000 or less. So now let's just jump right into it. So essentially, when you are filing for forgiveness, they are going to ask you for a cover period date. This is the first thing. So you have two options. You either have an 8-week covered period or you have a 24-week covered period. Now, if you are a Schedule C sole proprietor, you should be taking the 24-week cover period. There's really no real, need not to, okay? And what that's going to do is allow you to achieve 100% forgiveness. Now, in the event that you don't achieve 100% forgiveness, okay, you have your repayment period. So whatever amount of the loan is not forgiven, okay, you have to repay that over a period of 1 year or 2 years. But during the time of this PPP loan, the rules did change and they came out with the PPP Flexibility Act, which changed I believe it was a 2-year repayment period into a 5-year repayment period. But if everything is legit, you should be able to get your loan 100% forgiven. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so make sure that you talk to a professional or consult with whoever you need to consult with your lender about figuring out all the different nuances of this program. But in a nutshell, if you did everything the correct way, you should be able to achieve 100% forgiveness without really any static. Now, when it comes time to apply for forgiveness, okay, you have 24 weeks, okay, of the cover periods, right? So let's just say you're going to choose 24 weeks, okay? So from the date that you got the money dispersed, okay, let's say it was June 1st, okay, of 2020. Okay, you have 24 weeks from that date plus an additional 10 months. So all in all, it comes to about 16 months that you have to apply for forgiveness. Now, when it comes to applying for forgiveness, when you should do it is essentially going to be up to you. Now, there is a small caveat, and that caveat is that if you got PPP in round one and you're looking to get PPP in round two, okay, which you still have a little bit of time available for, okay, you don't want to apply for forgiveness of round one just yet. The reason is that there's like a tiny small caveat, a nuance that if you already had the funds from round one forgiven, then they might not give you funds in round two. And the whole thing about getting funds in round two is that you're able to base it off of your gross profit, and you can use your 2019 or your 2020 tax returns to determine that loan amount. You're able to use whatever amount is going to be more favorable for you and result in a higher outcome in a loan amount that you get. Now that we have that covered, basically you want to go and fill out the form. Okay. When it comes to filling out the form, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, pretty easy. If you feel like you're going to have some trouble with it, make sure that you reach out to a professional, somebody who can help you with submitting that, that forgiveness document. Keep in mind that when you go to submit the document or the paperwork for your forgiveness amount, okay, you're submitting that through your bank, okay? You're not submitting it to the SBA. You're submitting it to the bank, your lender who has this loan with you. Now, basically, your lender is going to take a look at all of your different paperwork. Then they submit it to the SBA, and then the SBA has a time amount that they can use to look over everything. And then they approve the forgiveness, and then they send it back to your bank, and your bank tells you that the loan is forgiven. And essentially, that's how it works. Now, when you're filling out this document, there's going to be some other questions that they're going to ask you to, either answer, or they're going to ask you to certify. Once again, they're pretty simple. They're pretty straightforward. They're also going to have a list of documents that you should maintain and keep on record, even though you don't have to submit those. So that would be, bank statements, that could be tax returns, that could be expense receipts from the different expenses that you use this money on within your business. Because keep in mind that the whole thing was that you were supposed to use 60% of it on payroll. Now, if you're a sole proprietor, okay, single member LLC, essentially you're not running a payroll. Okay, so you have what's known as owner's compensation replacement. So now you still can use this on qualified expenses. And when the program first started, that was a limited amount of expenses, which they then expanded. But essentially, you can use 100% of the funds on payroll. And so you just want to make sure that you have those supporting documentations in the event that they want to double check something, or they're asking you for some type of paperwork, to support whatever it is that you're submitting in your forgiveness form. Now, essentially, they probably won't have to do this. I mean, after all your information is commingled, so they can, basically cross-reference and double check on anything that they want to check on. But it would be wise to have, this paperwork set up and ready and on hold, just in case they want to come through, double check, cross their T's and dot their I's. And with that being said, that is essentially the forgiveness process. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of good resources that you can actually check out on YouTube, where people are going to go through the actual form and show you how to, fill out the form. Once again, like I said, if you need help, you should reach out to a professional. Make sure that you take your time, make sure that you do your due diligence, and keep in mind that when you file for forgiveness, you're filing through the lender, right? And not the SBA directly. So hopefully this video was useful and helpful. And if so, give me a like, drop me a comment, and let me know how you're making out with your PPP journey. Did you get round one? Did you get round two? Have you gotten it forgiven? Can you not get it forgiven? You running into any type of strange or weird hiccups, whatever the case may be, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. And until next time, this is your man, Jonathan Moore. For all my people out there who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live, I'm signing out. Peace.